despite concerns from local law enforcement. We have the latest developments on lightning in a bottle. That's all ahead on the Now Bakersfield. Annie?
Let's get our first check of the lineup here on the Now. CBD is starting to go more mainstream. We're checking out the products you could soon see in the mall. A number of workers turned to side hustles to make it during the government shutdown. And now that hustle could become much more than that for these sisters behind Furlough Cheesecakes. Many older adults may not have family or friends to help them out, so you'll want to hear about a service being called Grandkids on Demand. More on how that's working.
Good evening. Hundreds of protesters turned out tonight for the Bakersfield City School District Board meeting following the district's decision to cut summer school. The Dolores Huerta Foundation says the move could negatively impact thousands of students. The meeting started at 6 o'clock at BCSD headquarters on Baker Street in East Bakersfield. Hundreds of people attended the meeting. So many, some had to sit in the hallway and outside. Last year, BCSD sent out a letter to parents informing them the district was eliminating summer school for the 2019-2020 school year. BCSD says the reasons for the cuts are budget restrictions and less interest from students. District officials say the 13-day summer program costs nearly $2 million, and over the years they've seen a decrease in attendance. The letter caused an uproar from the community. The Dolores Huerta Foundation held a press conference at the meeting in protest of the decision, saying without it, thousands of students could be negatively impacted. Board members say they are also concerned about students, and this is why they are reevaluating the summer school program. Kern County supervisors have voted to bring a 5-day music and arts festival to Kern County. The Lightning in a Bottle Festival is expected to bring 25,000 people to Buena Vista Lake and pump millions of dollars into the local economy. The Now's Leah Pizzetti has details on what happens next.
For the most part, public comment at the Board of Supervisors meeting was positive.
We see this event as an opportunity for local businesses to help the economy.
It also brings in people from outside of our community who might only drive through I-5 and not really see what Bakersfield really is all about.
All 5 members of the board voting yes. So Lightning in a Bottle is set to come to Buena Vista Lake for 5 days, bringing 25,000 people in May of this year.
We incorporate education. We incorporate yoga and meditation and workshops and sustainability on top of all the music.
The Do Lab is paying $225,000 to Buena Vista Park, and the county expects the possibility of another $2 to $3 million to be brought in through hiring local vendors for services like providing food and building the elaborate structures used. Traffic and planned construction during that time was a concern, but CHP said they're working on a plan with the Do Lab and Caltrans to avoid issues. Sheriff Donnie Youngblood also voiced his concern about KCSO's ongoing issue with being short-staffed, saying he'll have to force his staff to work overtime.
We're at a point in the county now where money is not the number one issue, personnel is. And you can have all the money in the world if you don't have the people to work something. It makes it very difficult.
He says they'll do what they can with who they have.
I want to go into this with my eyes wide open. I'm not in favor of it. I'm not against it. I want us. We provide public safety for whatever the event is, and we will do that to the best of our ability.
And public safety has been a concern at past locations. The past 2 years, one person died when the festival was in Monterey County. The Do Lab and Lightning in a Bottle co-owner Dee Dee Fleming says they've worked to correct past mistakes, and they're working with the county to make sure Kern County is a success.
We know that we're not going to be welcomed in right away blindly. People are going to have to get to know us and get to trust us a little bit, and we're down for that. You know, we're in it for the long haul.
Do Lab must have various permits and codes in place 1 week before the festival begins for it to all take place. Sheriff Donnie Youngblood and multiple supervisors say if the festival is a success, they will consider bringing it back in the coming years. Pet owners from all over Kern County got together for World Spay Day to help reduce the amount of unwanted dogs and cats that end up in shelters. World Spay Day was held at Kern County Animal Services on Fruitvale Avenue from 10 to 4 today. KCAS teamed up with the Cat People, Marley's Mutts, the City Animal Shelter, and other organizations for Spay Day. Nick Cullen, the director of Kern County Animal Services, says 4 veterinarians performed surgery on 120 cats today. Officials say spaying and neutering pets not only has health benefits for pets, but also benefits the community.
For us, World Spay Day is super important too, because we deal every day with pet overpopulation, and so to try to prevent a number of unwanted kittens and dogs that are born is tremendous for the efforts that we're doing here at Kern County to become no-kill.
If you missed out on today's spay and neuter event, there are still free and low-cost options offered to pet owners year-round.
Facebook responding to a report that some of its moderators are underpaid and traumatized because of what they look at all day. This tops our newsfeed. Facebook now saying it will improve its system and work more closely with content reviewers. Moderators told The Verge about their trauma from viewing graphic videos for less than $30,000 a year. Ariana Grande plans to perform in Manchester again. This comes 2 years after there was a terror attack outside her concert. She will headline an LGBT festival in August. Well, NASA is monitoring an iceberg about twice the size of New York City in Antarctica. It's been cracked for decades, but it's more unstable now, and it could break off in mere days. So recent research suggests melting ice affects ocean water circulation and weather patterns. Pot products are coming out of the shadows, and they're making their way into malls and even some luxury stores. So in March, Barney's New York will open up a section in its stores exclusively for cannabis products. Barney's will lean more towards high-end cannabis accessories like glass pipes and 24-karat gold rolling papers, as well as beauty products. And malls are also introducing shoppers to cannabis products. Simon, which owns a lot of malls around the country, is planning on opening up 100 Green Growth stores. So Green Growth sells personal care products like lotions and balms infused with CBD. Another makeup brand that is usually bought at the mall is also diving into the cannabis trend. We're talking about Origins. It has already started infusing some of its skincare products with hemp seed oil. Origins says the oil helps with certain skin conditions. And while cannabis producers try to normalize the product, there is still some stigma associated with it. Those who sell actual marijuana products still can't work with banks, and Facebook, Instagram, even Google do not allow cannabis ads on their sites. All right, next in our lineup, so many older adults need help doing errands or really someone just to talk to, and they may not have family or friends around to step in. So you'll want to hear about a service being called Grandkids on Demand, how that's working when the Now continues. It's a common sound across Europe. Not so much here, but it might soon change the entire sound of New York City. Take a listen. All right, so some New York City Council members want to get rid of the piercing police, fire, and ambulance sirens in favor of that European-style sound you just heard. The reasons, they say the European siren is less annoying and doesn't create as much noise pollution, which is a real issue in New York. However, changing the sirens wouldn't change the decibel level at all. It would only change the frequency, which really means it's not as shrill, but it is just as loud. Mount Sinai hospitals in New York City are already using the Euro sirens on their ambulances, and there are also other places across the country that also use them, including several sheriff's offices in the Napa area of California. If it passes in New York City, vehicles would have about 2 years to change over their sirens. Walmart announcing today it is going green with new packaging that reduces waste. The store says it will design products so that they don't need as much packaging. Walmart will also use more recycled material. In some products, it'll remove all the packaging like boxes and hangers. Well, it might be hard to believe, but this summer will be 50 years since Woodstock. There is a music festival planned for upstate New York to mark the legendary event. Now, we don't know which bands are going to perform just yet, but you will see this right here. It's a replica of the iconic VW bus associated with the festival. The artist who painted the original bus led a team to restore it.
There's some amazing artwork on this thing.
And every time you look at it, you find something new.
And obviously, as you can tell, it drives too. And like we said, the couple plans to take it to the 50th anniversary Woodstock Music Festival later this year. Well, can an act be both selfish and selfless? Well, we can't decide, and here's why. One man bought all the Girl Scout cookies being sold outside a store in South Carolina. This man had bought just 7 boxes at first, but then realized it was too cold for these girls to be standing outside. So he bought all the remaining boxes. He ended up spending more than $500 on cookies. Now, why is it selfish? Well, hello, there's no cookies for anyone else. But it's pretty nice that the girls got to go inside and at least they got to warm up.
Interesting story there. Well, Cal State Bakersfield is taking team bonding to the next level, literally about 25 feet in the air. Tomorrow, CSUB Student Rec Center is unveiling its newest attraction, a challenge course. The course includes a dynamic high ropes course, which hangs about 25 to 30 feet in the air, along with 8 other challenging elements. The unveiling will happen at 11 tomorrow morning, and the challenge program will start taking reservations in March. It has been an extremely wet winter here in California with snow, gloomy gray skies, and heavy rain, but those gray skies have given way to bright orange flowers, and people are flocking to see them.
And a wild season of fires to rain, and now we feel like spring came out today with all these poppies.
We came to spend some time out in the flower fields and get some good pictures for Instagram.
A super bloom has triggered in Southern California near Lake Elsinore in the Inland Empire. The hillsides are blanketed in golden poppies. The wildflowers have brought hundreds of visitors. I'm just mesmerized. I can't even speak. City officials are encouraging people to enjoy the sights with care and preserve while you observe the fields of flowers. Very cool. Well, we're looking forward to seeing more flowers around here in Bakersfield. And you know what, Allison? If those flowers need to be watered, we can do that too, right?
Oh yeah, definitely, because rain is on the way. We are tracking an atmospheric river system that is bringing heavy rainfall up to Northern California with some snow. This slowly is going to be pushing down toward Kern County as we head into the early morning hours tomorrow. But thankfully, we have tropical air here in the valley, so a high of 71 degrees today in Bakersfield, well above that seasonal norm at 66, but that's where temperatures are going to be hanging out as we head into your Wednesday as well as on Thursday. So this system is going to be making its way into the county just before the sun rises at right around 6:30 tomorrow. So we can see some light showers for us here in Bakersfield, but a heavier pocket of this system right around 10:30 going to be up in the Kern River Valley, starting to push down toward Tehachapi, and then we are going to be seeing some scattered showers on and off throughout the rest of the day on Wednesday, continuing throughout the morning on Thursday. Then this system is going to be clearing, leaving us with some cloudy skies and warm temperatures. Just how much rain will we be seeing? Like I said earlier, temperatures in the 70s today. That was the case again yesterday. So unfortunately, most of that moisture will be evaporating for us here in the valley. So for Bakersfield, could be seeing a few hundredths of an inch, but other areas across the valley could be seeing a tenth or two. It looks like Lake Isabella will be getting hit the most with potentially up to a half of an inch of rain. Now, again, as the system makes its way down, doesn't look to be as impressive as all that rain that's falling in Northern California, but I suppose we'll still be getting something as we head into your Wednesday. But thankfully, fresh air also making its way into the county. That means air quality is going to be right back to the good range with an AQI of 38, and there are no restrictions, but burning is discouraged. Let's talk about temperatures. In the 70s the past 2 days, going to be dipping down to 65 degrees, which is right around that seasonal norm, up to 68 by Thursday. Then we are going to be drying out on Friday for March 1st, tracking our next storm making its way into the county, bringing that chance of scattered showers on Saturday, continuing a little bit into Sunday, then drying out on Tuesday. But we are going to be seeing cloudy skies ahead of our next system making its way into the county on Wednesday and Thursday. But if you can look at this, temperatures are going to be holding on to the 60s for the next 9 days. Annie?
Now to our news feed. A mother and daughter are charged with homicide as well as conspiracy after 5 of their relatives were found dead at an apartment in Pennsylvania. 2 of the dead are children. A concert arena in Germany has canceled its contract with R. Kelly. This comes just 2 days after the singer was charged with sexually abusing 3 underage girls. Another arena in Germany tried to cancel its April concert before R. Kelly was charged, but wasn't able to contact the singer. Here's some good news for Hulu customers. The streaming service has lowered its prices today, but it only applies to the entry-level subscriptions. Hulu's basic service now costs $5.99. Senior care can be expensive, or maybe you have a loved one who could use some help once in a while, but isn't at the point yet where they actually need a full-fledged caregiver. The Now's Chris Welch is checking out a unique service dubbed Grandkids on Demand that could help.
I'd fit in right there.
Once a week, Corelia Lanuza comes by Viola Zilio's apartment to help her with whatever she might need. Whether it's finishing a puzzle, helping her with chores, or reminding her to take her medications.
Okay.
They'll often run errands or go for walks.
Push the button, wait.
And when they do,
okay,
it always involves a trip for a cafecito.
Hey, did you want to taste it?
The traditional Cuban coffee is Viola's favorite. She wanted to share with us, too.
This is mine. Now, if you want to taste Cuban coffee, those are for you.
But Corelia isn't a caregiver, at least not in the typical sense.
I love coming to visit her.
It's companion. It's companion.
2 companions that met when Corelia signed up to work for a new app and phone-based service for seniors known as Papa.
Papa connects college students to older adults for companionship, assistance, and transportation. It's kind of like a grandkid on demand.
Founder Andrew Parker thought that pairing college students with seniors could fix a specific problem.
My grandfather, who we called Papa, needed help, but wasn't really ready for traditional home care services, and I thought it was weird that there was nothing available before that.
Corelia is a sophomore pre-med student, and she needed a job that fit with her busy class schedule. She passed the company's background and personality checks and got the gig.
And we clicked instantly, and then from there I've just been coming every Tuesday to see her, and then we hang out, and it's just like hanging out with a friend.
Otherwise, I would be living alone in my house with no one to talk to.
To be able to come and see her once a week is kind of like seeing like another grandmother to me.
But Viola sees it just a bit differently.
I just see her as an equal friend.
2 friends.
Yes, we're celebrities.
With a couple guests in tow. Reporting for The Now in Miami Springs, Florida, I'm Chris Welch.
Thanks, Chris. Well, currently in the Miami area, Papa costs around $17 an hour. They are only operating across Florida right now, but the company says they have plans to expand to several more cities nationwide very soon. If you've already dealt with it this season, just know it's not going away soon. Yep, the flu is here for a little while longer. Doctors say the flu could stick around until May, and that's because a more severe strain is going around. Most people who did get the flu shot got covered for the H1N1 strain, but it may not work for as well as the H3N2 viruses, according to the CDC. All right, it tracks your exercises and tells you when to move, but soon the Apple Watch will be able to track your sleep. Bloomberg says this feature could come as soon as next year, but it says Apple will have to figure out either how to make the battery last overnight or maybe track your sleep in a very low power mode. Other fitness trackers that monitor sleep stay charged for weeks. Okay, finally in our lineup, a number of workers turned to side hustles during the government shutdown. And now that side hustle could become much more than that for the sisters behind Furlough Cheesecakes. Their story when the Now continues. Two sisters who were furloughed during the government shutdown started making cheesecakes to make ends meet. As the Now's Corey Rangel explains, the sisters' side hustle has given them a taste of success.
We're still, trying to keep up with orders. You gonna put the other ones in the oven?
Jackie Wright and Nikki Howard will tell you their new business is anything but a piece of cake.
Trying to get ahead of everything has been a challenge. I've never worked this hard in my life.
Last month, they started selling their homemade furlough cheesecakes as a way to help pay the bills during the longest government shutdown in history. Thanks to word of mouth, the business took off and hasn't slowed down.
Almost 4,800 orders. We actually are going to be able to send out 400 cheesecakes this afternoon.
They got a boost in business.
Hello, ladies. Hi.
When Ellen DeGeneres surprised the sisters by having them on her show. Ellen gave them $20,000 to help with their business.
Ellen surprised us. She's my best friend now. She just doesn't know it.
They got another surprise this month from one of the largest companies in the world.
We found ourselves at Walmart being able to present our cheesecakes for a tasting.
We get you guys here, but I need to taste this pie. So we knew, okay, it doesn't matter how much she likes us. If this pie is nasty, we're in trouble.
That meeting with Walmart and taste test went well.
Their plans are to get us in the stores before the end of this year. It's insane. And she told us, this doesn't happen There are people that have been waiting over a year to stand where you're standing making this presentation, and we came in with our A game.
The sisters are hopeful their cheesecakes will be in Walmart stores later this year. For The Now, I'm Corey Rangel.
Thanks, Corey. Grocery shopping can be a chore. You could be staying longer and even spending more for a specific reason. Tomorrow on The Now, I'm showing you what to watch for to help you save the next time you shop.
And coming up after the break on The Now, we're checking back in with The Now's Allison Gargaro, checking out our forecast, when we're seeing rain and when we're seeing sunshine.
Well, we have lots of weather going on across the state. This atmospheric river is aimed at Northern California as well as Central California, slowly making its way down toward Bakersfield. We felt warm temperatures today, and that's what we are feeling this evening as well. Still looking at some temperatures in the 60s in Oildale as well as in Shafter, 57 for us here in Bakersfield. But that rain will be pushing into the county tomorrow, lingering a little bit on Thursday, but on Friday, which is March 1st, we are going to be drying out. But don't worry, another system on the way this weekend.
Of course it is. That's how it goes. All right, that's going to do it for us here on The Now. We'll see you back here tonight at 11.